Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church. Good to be with you today. Here we are, the first day of another month, the month of February, the month of love, Valentine's Day, all that good stuff. And hopefully, the month that we can start thinking about warmer weather as opposed to what we've been having. Now, I'm not naive enough to think that it's going to be warm anytime soon, but we're closer to it than we were, and that's a good thing. I want to continue this week in talking about Proverbs. I have a couple of really good verses to think about this week. And I want to start the 22nd chapter, verse 4. And it reads this way: True humility and fear of the Lord lead to riches, honor, and long life. True humility. What is humility? We talk about somebody being humble. We talk about humility as an attribute that we admire, or at least we say we admire, but what is it? Well, humility is not thinking higher of yourself than you really ought to. Not lifting yourself up above others. Now, don't misunderstand. The opposite of humility is not confidence. They're not in contradiction to each other. The opposite of humility is being arrogant and prideful and boastful. We all need to be confident. We need to believe that we can accomplish whatever it is God wants us to do. We need to have a strong sense of self that says, I'm worthwhile. I can do things. But we need to have a sense of humility that says, but there are others too. Now, I've noticed in church life, since that's what I've done most of my life, an awful lot of people, when asked to take a position, will say, well, I'll do it, but surely there's some others who are better than I am. And to some degree, that's humility. To another degree, that's kind of a learned pattern of how to respond. So it doesn't look like you're anxious to do it. And that's not right. There may be others who are more capable, but you're being asked. And you need to have the confidence to say, yes, I can do that and I will, or no, I don't really think I can do that, but I appreciate you asking me. That's very different than saying, oh, well, there are others who can do it. So it says here that humility, that not lifting yourself up above others because you think you're better than anybody else. True humility and the fear of the Lord. Now, again, this word fear of the Lord, as I mentioned previously, doesn't mean to shake and shudder and be scared. It's the word means and an awe, feeling the tremendous power of God and the tremendous magnitude of God. Humility and that feeling of awesomeness of God, it says, lead. They really do. They directly lead to what? Riches, honor, and long life. Now, when we use the word riches, in our culture, so many people immediately proceed to money and to things. And they are riches in one sense of the word. You can do a lot with money that you can't do without it. You can certainly buy more things, and prettier things, and more interesting things. But things will never make you into something that you're not. things can only cover up your lack of humility and your lack of confidence. So it says that humility and the fear of God, the recognizing the awesomeness of who God is, will lead to riches. Riches are those things where they're intangible stuff. You know, if you have a great reputation, that's one of these riches. If you're one of those people that others trust, that's one of these riches. If you're one of these people that help out whenever there's a need, that's one of these riches here. It will lead to riches, and it will lead to honor. In our world today, we don't talk much about honor. I guess it's lost its way in the world. We talk about strength, and we talk about getting things done. Well, in times past, people talked about honor. Your character matters, they said. Your reputation matters. What people think of you, legitimately, not gossip and that sort of thing, that matters. And it matters not just to you, but to your children and their children and their children. It matters across generations. You know, you can't earn honor. You either have it or you don't. You either have integrity or you don't. And for those who feel the need to cheat to get ahead or to fake it to look good, it's never going to work because you know who you are, and so does God. I marvel at some of these people on the television, actors and actresses, politicians, business people, salespeople, who always come across as this fantastic person. And then you read in real life some of the things that they're struggling with, the character that they just don't have. To have honor means you do the right thing for the right reason, regardless of the circumstances. As Martin Luther King said, it's never the wrong time to do the right thing. Being honorable means that God can trust you. He knows that in a situation, whatever it is, you're going to get it done. That's what God wants. And then he also finally says, you'll receive riches, honor, and a long life. I hope you have a long life. And I hope it's filled with honor and riches. Because that's what God really wants for you. And that's the life that people admire. And that's the kind of life people will talk about for the ages. So take a look at yours today and see how it turns out. Wherever it is and whatever it is, you can always change it. You can do better. God wants you to. He encourages you to. And by Jiminy, as they say, I'm with you. Well, thanks for listening. I hope you have a great week upcoming. Hope some great things happen for you. If you have a need or a prayer concern, let us know. We'll do whatever we can, as fast as we can, to help meet those needs. God bless you. I'll talk to you again.